Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by for today's video. I am honestly very excited to do this Shop My Stash today because we are almost in the middle of July already, which is crazy. And I know for a fact that I am missing out on some stellar summer products in my collection, and that's gonna be what today is all about. Grabbing those things that I don't want to forget about using, the things that, really just make me happy to wear in the summertime. So we're going to get into that. But if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. I also am so excited because again, this year, I am doing this series in collaboration with my friend Natalia Lavrova. We really just wanted to make this a bit more fun with some prompts and really inspire us to actually do the Shop My Stash. We're sort of holding each other accountable. I actually really love doing this because it does make me remember what I have to pull out the things that I want to be using, but sometimes life just gets away from us. So to have this quarterly thing that we're doing together, it means that we're at least doing it 4 times a year. Sorry if you hear click clack of doggy toenails, Jet's gonna come and go. He evidently decided I was being too loud and he needs to go to get his nap time elsewhere. All right, so we're gonna dive in. If you are new to this little series that Natalia and I are doing, again, we are giving each other 2 prompts for each season, and then also doing our own prompts as well. So you'll see 4 prompts. I'm gonna share those with you now, I think honestly, just because I want to dig through and pick those things out right away. But of course, I would love if you would stick around for the whole thing just to see what else I end up pulling out of the treasure trove here. If you're anything like me, you have been buying less makeup and really trying to utilize what you have. I've really been enjoying doing that, and actually I've found some products that I am really enjoying, and also found a few things that just needed to hit the road, some of which you'll probably see in my next empties or not so empties video, which should be coming soon. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into this. I, by the way, will of course have Natalia's video linked down below so that you can check out her video after this one is through. So let me pull up our text thread because I don't even know where I put these prompts. Oh, also, they've been doing some road work right outside of my house, and they've been like doing that like pea gravel and tar annoying situation, so you're probably going to hear some of that, but I just can't stop. We gotta get this done. The show must go on, folks, so hopefully the microphone's not picking up too much of it. I did find our text. So my first prompt that I had given Natalia was something that makes you think of travel or fun adventures, and I put because I'm pretty sure neither of us are really doing much traveling this summer, so I said since I have a feeling neither of us are doing much of that this season, so we might as well relive the memories. So it doesn't necessarily have to be summer travel, but just something that like gives you those feels, like live vicariously through makeup. Why not? And then the other thing was your biggest pan of bronzer so we can get some use out of them. I know that I have a couple pretty big pans of bronzer, so we're gonna pull at least one of those out. All right, Natalia said, pick products from a favorite brand running sales this summer to deter us from buying all the things. I know what inspired her to do that, so you'll have to check out her video to see that. And then try to think of a product that you forgot to use last summer, and it's a summer appropriate color or texture that you otherwise might neglect the rest of the year. I know that I have a couple of those things, so I will probably pull out more than one because I really want to use those things. Although if it is a color, I don't think that I'm getting as much color. Like, I don't think my skin is getting as dark as it would normally in the summer because I've just been so busy that I just haven't been outside as much, which is kind of sad. So I don't know that I'm going to get as tan this summer, but there are some things, whether it is formula or color or whatever, that I know that I usually only grab and I haven't reached for yet. So we're gonna dig for some of those. All right, so those are the prompt products. So I'm just going to pull those out right now to feature those like face to face with you. I have my new gimbal, or not so new gimbal, that is charging right now so that we don't have like the Blair Witch Project when I'm going through with my iPhone to be able to film through my drawers. I think I told y'all that I bought one. I mean, honestly, it's probably been close to a year. It's at least been 6 months. I bought it. I don't know. I was like, I had it. I've seen it. For some reason, it was under my nightstand in the bedroom, in the box, unopened. I don't know, but beats me, but I found it. So I'm charging it right now. So hopefully I'll be using that. All right, this has already been a chatty one. Let's get into the products. Okay, here we go. So For my personal prompts, something that reminds you of vacation, I actually picked out a couple things. This disgusting, and I've had it in my Shop My Stash, but listen y'all, I'm going through this. So this absolutely makes me think of vacation. This is actually, oh, I don't even have it out. This is the Auric Glow Lust in Pyrite, I believe. And this is a little tube that I had dumped some product into. It's a jar that I had dumped some of the product into for my last cruise with Jeremy. And I am remembering this so well because towards the end of the cruise, I mean, we were on our vacation for 13 days. That was a lot of sun exposure, even though I was trying to like use all the sunscreen. I got the darkest I've ever gotten in my entire life, and there was nothing that I had taken with me that matched my skin. So basically I was just using a little bit of this for like glow and a smidgen of coverage, and that's what I was wearing all the time. Also, I have a feeling that this is going to start really getting dehydrated and just be like done for. So I'd like to use this up this summer and then just wash it out and put it aside for future use. So it'll be a fun little way to sort of remember that. The other thing is this one is sort of double serving me twice. I don't know, whatever I'm trying to say, but the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. Does anybody still have this palette? So there are two reasons I'm picking this out. Partially because I absolutely remember this was one of the two palettes that I took on a girls trip with a friend of mine several years ago now. Back when I had quite a bit of Too Faced eyeshadows. This has a lovely little color story. I've really beaten this one to smithereens. I'm not going to let you get too close to it because it's like, it definitely needs a little wipe down. But I desperately need to go through my eyeshadow collection and do a declutter. I know I've been talking about this again. It hasn't been that long since I've done one. It was probably 6 months ago, maybe. I am just ready to have much less. And I want to use this both to just remember it, have a good time. I just have a feeling this isn't needed in my collection anymore. You know, I just feel like it probably served its purpose. We had a good time together. Do I think that the Too Faced eyeshadow formula is like my favorite? No, but is that just because I haven't used it in a while? Possibly. I also like the fact that this could be very easy for just like quick looks. I have really been doing fairly simple eye looks this summer. This is probably like the most dramatic that I've done for most of the summer, and it's really not that dramatic, you know? By the way, this is the ColourPop So Jaded palette that I think I actually put in my last Shop My Stash. It was either in my last Shop My Stash or in my spring palette picks. I don't remember, but it's still sitting out, and I was like, gotta use that more, so that's what's on there today. But this one could be used because you've got some warm neutrals, you've even got some like plummy, pinky tones, light depth, lots of things. So that's gonna be it. Doesn't smell like peaches anymore. I have a feeling we're gonna have a little summer fling and then we're gonna go our separate ways, but we will have to see. So now for my biggest pan of bronzer, I actually have two that are pretty close. I think that maybe my Marc Jacobs beats this one out, but I use that one quite a bit this like winter into spring. So I'm pulling out my Tom Ford. This is the Glow Bronzer in the shade Terra. I picked this up when, I don't know if it was like this size was being discontinued. I'm not one to really splurge on Tom Ford that much, but I got this for a great deal. And I think that this is gonna be a good one. I think that this will be good for this season. I tend to lean towards cream bronzer in the summer quite a bit, but there is something just so effortless about a quick dusting of powder bronzer. And this summer, I feel like I've been extra glowy, probably because we've been having like August weather ever since the end of June. So I've just been extra glowy. So a powder bronzer might serve me well. So that is for the biggest pan of bronzer that I have. Speaking of bronzers, we're gonna have lots of warmth, lots of contouring going on this season because I have two more here, and these are to go with Natalia's prompts of something that you would only reach for in the summer. The first one is the Chanel Le Beige. This is the cream bronzer. I actually got this as a gift, and I'm pulling out like more of the bougie stuff today, I guess, but this color is definitely quite a bit warmer than I would normally wear for a bronzer. I do really think the value of this as far as like light and depth, I could get away with it at any time because it's so blendable, but it is so warm. It's very warm toned that vibe for me is like only when I'm quite tan. So this will definitely be for like that warmer look when maybe I'm just gonna do more bronzer and then put a sweep of like a warm shimmery powder blush on, you know, or just like a little tap of something kind of peachy for that like extra warm glow, because this one is quite warm. So that's gonna be my first pick for this. I also here have, I actually pulled out quite a few of these. I hope that that's okay. I also pulled out my Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand in medium dark. Kind of the same thing with this. It does have a warmer undertone. I'm still working through my fair medium. It's almost gone. It is almost gone. But this one for me is definitely more of like a liquid bronzer vibe. So I figured there's no other time of the year that I would wear this because it is warmer, and now's the time to use it. And you know, it's Charlotte, so it's not exactly inexpensive, so I want to use it up. One that was really inexpensive, and I'm so sad that this was so limited edition. This is the Bear With Me Jelly Cheek color from NYX, and this was in the shade Sizzling Sun. I actually had 2 shades of these, and I decided to declutter one just because it was similar to some other things that I have in my collection. But this is, I mean, I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's literally kind of like the texture of slime, you know, like that kid slime. Or adult slime. If you enjoy a good slime moment, that's okay with me. These are so pretty. They give you like almost like popsicle cheeks. They are more of, I would say, like a water-based color. That's it right here. This was the Chanel bronzer. So see, like even these two together would go really well, but they're quite warm. So that would be like, need to be just in from the sun. I just love this. So I don't know if there's another brand that makes this kind of like gelatinous blush. Maybe e.l.f. I had some products kind of like that from e.l.f. at one point, but not anymore. But I really like this. The finish of it is beautiful. Like I said, like very thin, water-based. You could wear this with absolutely no other product on. You could wear this with like a skin tint. You wouldn't, also, this is the other reason why I'm pulling this out this time of year. You wouldn't pull this out, I don't think, when you are going for like full glam, lots of coverage, because I could see this when you tap it on the cheek sort of breaking down like a full coverage foundation, which I barely ever do. In fact, I don't really ever do that. Like full coverage isn't my vibe for those of you that are new here, but this product is really best worn with minimal to light coverage. So that's exactly what I love in the summertime and what I love most of the time. All right, the last thing. This Urban Decay blush in Bang. I think I try to pull this out every summer, and I think I forgot last year. This is very reminiscent of one of the Haus Labs colors, by the way. It's just this beautiful, bright, sort of red-orange shade. Totally my vibe for summer. Like, I could see a light sweep of this, Strawberry Shock from Lisa Eldridge on the lips. I'd be good to go. Lots of mascara, maybe a little liner, and I'd be rocking it for a summer day. So these are going to be the things to go with that prompt. All right, so for Natalia's other prompt, pick products from a favorite brand running sales this summer to deter us from buying all the things. Okay, so I don't know that this is like a favorite brand, but this is a brand that I need to stop buying from for a while, if not longer than that. So Dua is always running fragrance sales, y'all. They're like every week. And every time I get an email, I'm tempted to go in, check my wish list, see what's in stock, see what's new, because Lord knows they're launching things. Like they launch like 10 fragrances every week, I swear. So I pulled out a couple scents from Dua that I want to make sure to feature this summer. One is actually fairly new to me. The other is not. I'd like to just give you a little mini review here, but I will probably do a fragrance haul, like just like a collective fragrance haul video sometime soon, because I got a few things this season, which is fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Including a few dupe fragrances from this brand, which I do have to say, especially for the price, I think they do a great job. But y'all, like, at some point, and especially because most of the things that I get that are dupes are things that I have the original of. Why do I do that? Well, sometimes for longevity's sake, like one of these, but the others like maybe out of curiosity, or maybe like, well, maybe this bottle's half gone and I won't have to buy the full price one. I don't know. Anyway, it's gotten kind of ridiculous. And after what happened with my last order, which I will probably share in that fragrance haul, so again, subscribe for the drama. But after what happened with that, I'm like, okay, Kelly, you just need to stop right now. So the two that I picked out, this is one that is not new to me. I've actually worn this a lot, which is crazy because it doesn't have much of a dent, but this one, I could not let go of it this spring. I wanted to do like a feminine, girly vibes spring scents video because that was totally the vibe for me this spring. But this one, I'm still going to be wearing into the summer. This is so good. This is Raspberry Candied Violets, and the original of this is Soradora's Mallow, and I have not smelled that, but let me tell you, I think I've talked about this before. I bought this 100% because of Alicia from Alicia Budget Beauty. It is so good. It is like powdery violet, a little bit of like vanilla. This is just my vibe. I don't have the notes up. Of course, the beautiful raspberry in here. It's sweet, but dry powdered sugar. Like not like honey, not caramel, not like ooey gooey. It's a dry sweet. I really like this. It isn't powdery, like it doesn't smell like powder. It just smells like powdered sugar, if that makes sense. And I like it. Jeremy really likes it. It's really nice. It is fruity and sweet without being too cloying for the summertime. So I still feel pretty good wearing this in high heat. Okay, this other one. I smelled Jo Malone's Orange Bitters when I was in the cosmetics company outlet store, and I really enjoyed it. However, it was pretty pricey, and I had heard that it didn't last very long. So I didn't buy it, but I left that day and I could not get that fragrance off my mind. And if you've ever had that happen, I was proud of myself for not like getting it in that moment. But if you've ever had that happen, I was like, okay, regrets. So I went on Merkari because I have some Merkari credits from things that I've sold, and I was like, let me see if anybody has it. And this one was a pretty good price. This is just a 30 milliliter. The one at the cosmetics company outlet was a bigger bottle, but this is just, it's so nice. It's citrusy. It's a little woodsy. This is definitely unisex. I would probably say leaning towards masculine. It's a little soapy to me. Like it just is like clean, woodsy citrus. It's so nice. It's so good for like spring, summer. I could see it being a layerable. It's wonderful. It lasts like 2 hours. And I was like, well, I saw that Dua had citrus saturation, which was supposed to be a pretty good dupe. A lot of people in the reviews said it was pretty close. And it is. It doesn't have the same intriguing first initial spritz that this one does, but it lasts 90 bajillion times longer. Like this will last all day on me. It eventually dries down into more of that like woodsy skin scent, but it's great. So I'm glad that I got it. I usually like put on a spritz of this more as a base layer and then top this over the top. So this is going to last me a long time with this as sort of like, you know, what's going to keep me going through the day. So I'll be wearing all three of these this season, and it's going to remind me that I have more than enough of Dua to last me a long time. I don't need to get anything else from the brand, even though the sales are really tempting. If any of those sound curious, I will make sure to have these linked down below. I do have a discount code with them. If you're ever shopping for whatever reason that they aren't having a sale with a code, you can always use my code to save. But really love those, but don't need any more right now. Okay, so now it's time to, wow, I almost said it's time to get in my drawers, y'all. It's time to go through my drawers and find some things for the season. Let's get into it. All right, drawer one. So, blushes. Now again, I always treat my Shop My Stash as the time to pull out the products that I won't remember to use. So like there's really no point in me pulling out any of my RMS because those are the ones that I will always remember to use, always grab. It's all about like finding the hidden gems, right? So let's see what we have in here. You know what I know that I want to pull out for the season is Vivid Azalea, wherever she is, from Wayne Goss. Yep, here we go, because this, oh, look at that. Yes, love this, love both the blush and the highlight. So that one for sure, we're gonna pull out. Let's tuck that away. We're going out of order here, but I just saw the Sydney Grace, hi guys, Sydney Grace loose highlight, and this one is Pumpkin Spice Latte. So of course, just getting done with Sydney Grace sale, it reminded me about this one, and this one is so pigmented, and it is quite a bit darker than I would wear for most of the year, so I am gonna pull that highlight out. It is very, very pretty. This is usually a good time to like yank some of this out and see what we've got going on in the depths back here. These are the Pat McGrath blushes and Original Color Pop. I'm not really vibing on those right now. Oh, you know what? I haven't worn this in a while, and I love this shade. It's quite shimmery though. This is the Kiko Mono Wonder Woman shade in. This is Athena Strategy. Okay, so that's really pretty. It is so, so pretty. So I'm gonna pull that one out. And should I pull out one of these very, very bright? Ooh, okay, we've got a couple in here that might be good to use. These Moira runs, of course, are so bright. And then this one is also really nice from Odin's Eye. These are both kind of orangey, which is usually my vibe in the summertime. And funny enough, maybe it's because these are back further. Of course, next to this Moira, this looks brown, but I swear this is sort of like a terracotta orange. This is Odin's Eye Orange Sunny. But funny enough, I haven't been doing a lot of the oranges because I'll put something on and I'm like, that really doesn't look orange the way I thought it would. So it's probably because these were just like shoved further back. So I think that is going to be good for blushes just right off the get-go. I'll probably pull out a face palette and we'll probably get some other options. I'm curious, what do you guys do? Do you keep the well-known stuff that you reach for all the time right at the front? Do you rotate things? Like, how do you do it? Do you just rotate by doing a Shop My Stash? Because sometimes I'm like, why do I even have these back here? Like, I barely see them. This is one reason why I haven't bought a powder blush in a while. I think, honestly, the only thing that would make me buy a powder blush right now is if RMS launched more shades of these. Not gonna lie. Okay, I do think that that's good as far as blushes go. So we got one highlight out. I have been kind of vibing on some gold. So let's find my like most gold highlight. Something that's a bit more strong. This might be a good contender. This is Whisper of Guilt from MAC, even though it's in, I think this was Holiday. I'm pretty sure it has a snowflake inside. Let's see. Yeah, but it is really quite gold, but it's almost like a peachier gold. I wonder if I have more of like a gold. This is Daybreak. I love this one. I haven't worn that in a while. I pulled this one out the other day to use, actually. This is my Broken House Labs. Maybe this is the one that I should pull out. Very carefully gonna show this one to you. This is from the original Haus Labs brand, right before they sort of did their rebrand. They did this beautiful Casa Gaga collection. This is so pretty. It's a gelée formula, very similar to like this formula, actually. I don't think any of my Beccas are really gold. What is this one? MAC here. No, that's a MAC that's not super gold. What do we have up here? I think that that's probably going to be the winner. So let's grab those. I'm also going to grab, I'm pretty sure that this is a blush. Yeah, this is the Watermelon, is that what this was? Watermelon Bliss shade from Haus Labs. Ooh, yeah, okay. Okay, that's going to be great. Very pretty. That's a cooler, pinkier tone than the one that I picked out from that Urban Decay. So I think that's a good start. Do I have a powder bronzer in here that I want to pull out? Honestly, I feel like I am doing pretty good. We've got quite a few bronzers. I do have to say I have been wearing my RMS Tan Lines shade a lot this season, and it's been a favorite for just like an effortless glow. Okay, moving into the next drawer. So this is going to be a fun one, and right away, I know that I said that I wasn't going to pull out another bronzer, but I just want to make a note. I have been using them, so there's really not a point in me like putting it in my Shop My Stash, but these What's Up Beauty Chicotera blushes, or these are the bronzers, but because they are so matte, these are perfect for the season where I get super, super glowy. Even with my cream bronzers, I've been popping a little bit of this over the top to set it, just so that I get a little bit more longevity and a more, I mean, it doesn't make it matte, but to make it more matte than it is. So really enjoying those. I'm gonna pull out my Westman Atelier Peau de Pêche for sure. So we're just kind of bouncing all over the place as far as what's in these drawers, but this is a highlight, and this I definitely can only get away with this time of year. Am I gonna be able to pull it open here one-handed? There we go. That's a beautiful shade. So pretty for summer, and I definitely need to start utilizing it because it is a cream and it's not going to last forever. I do want to pull out one of the other blush shades. I'm going to pull out this Relaxed Roma shade. This is from the What's Up Beauty Chicotera collection, but this is obviously the blush. So I'll open this one up and we can take a peek. Okay, no lies. This is what it looks like on the inside. That's what it looks like on the inside. This is what the box looks like. That's really misleading. So I'm gonna pull out this one and take a peek at this. I just want like a really nice, I really enjoy this formula, and I just want a nice matte blush to have as like a topper or something like that, just to really set things down. Let's take a look at this one. This one's Serene Sienna. Okay, I think this one, while not as, doesn't really look like what the box looks like, but it is a bit warmer than that one and probably will work nicely as that topper shade. And it's not orange like those other shades, so it's going to give me a bit of different variety. So that's going to be a fun one to use this season. By the way, if you do want to see these in action, I did do a full video with this collection. So I'm going to tuck these back and let's see what else we have. I have to be honest, it's not that often that I would like forget to pull out a cream blush, so I don't think I'm going to focus on any of those, but I really should be using these more. So let's go ahead and pick out a little highlighter wand. We have Peach Gasm, which is a good option here. What is this one here? Also Peach Gasm. Okay, well, let's pull out one of these since we have two of them, and that's ridiculous. I think I got one of these as a gift, and they were both open. Okay, so we've got the Peach Gasm. I see here, you know what I should pull out is this. I know that this is going to be quite a bit more glowy than the Glow Lust, so I think that this will be a good option when I want that like really golden glow, and I just haven't reached for these enough, so that'll be good. Moving on. Hello, random drawer. So this is the one area that I probably, oh, I bet I have a golden shade down here. I used to. Yes, I do. Oh, I love this too. Okay, I'm pulling this out. If they still make this and you want an inexpensive highlight, these Wet n Wild Hello Halo, this is Gilded Glow. I'm gonna pull this one out. This little situation is sort of my overflow. I thought that having an area to put my tubes would be good, and I just keep forgetting to pull these ones out. So this is a good time. Let's pull out a really nice bright shade. Gosh, I used to wear this a lot. So this is the Flower Blush Balm in Melon. So that'll be a fun one as well. I am currently working through a primer. I've been wearing my Yummy Skin balms quite a bit. Face palettes. All right, normally I would say the Tiger palette is the one to pull out this summer because it is so much darker, but I actually have been pulling that one out quite a bit. So I want something just a little different. Okay, I think this Too Faced option is going to be a good one to try out, just because it's small, so it won't take up a ton of room. Oh my gosh, gimbal or not, you still have to do this one-handed. And this Glowy Peach and this Glowy Bronzer, I think, are going to be so great for the summer. This was one of their little winter holiday collections, but very summer appropriate shades. Super fun. Haven't worn those in quite a while. I think that's good. I don't have a need to like pull out any of my foundations or anything here because luckily I don't have that many. This is way more than any one person needs, but I don't have that many that I would forget about anything. So we're doing pretty good. All right, in my little drawer of shame, I've been starting to keep my powders in this top drawer rather than out on my like desktop all the time because it's been driving me nuts. But this is where I hold all my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks and then all the other randomness, as you can see, which I really still need to go through at some point in time. I should probably move these little Rare Beauty blushes. I really need to go through all of this. I did just change out one of my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. These are something that I always think of to grab if the mood calls for. So we're just gonna, I don't even know why I even opened that one. Probably to just be like, hey, look, I put some powders in here and then ignored the rest and just pretended like the chaos didn't exist. Just keeping it real. So some liquid liners, some smudge stick type vibe. I have been going through some mascaras. I just pulled out one or two for the season, so I don't feel the need to grab any of those, but let's see if there's anything in here. This could be kind of fun. This Vivid Brights from NYX. just gonna grab that one because this has sort of been the vibe right now. This color is very pretty, but the green is my vibe right now. Also, I can move this because I think this is mascara. Ooh, although this darker color I like, and I should check and see if it is dried out at this point. This was Royal Wink from MAC. It is Royal Wink, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a was because it's probably dried out at this point. This is, sadly, I mean, you might not think so, but this is going down. The mascara hoard has been slowly going down. I haven't purchased a mascara in a while. I have to say I've really still been loving my Swede, so it's hard for me to use other things, but I really want to use some other things in my collection. Okay, let's keep going. All right, cream shadows galore. I have been reaching for these so much this season. I've been reaching for my RMS, the shimmery ones I really enjoy. The matte ones are okay, not bad at all, but if I'm gonna be reaching for the mattes, it's probably gonna be the About Face. I really don't feel like I need to grab anything out of here for my Shop My Stash as far as those go, because I have been doing a good job of grabbing them. What I do want to focus on is snagging a couple things in here. So like the Charlotte Tilbury, ooh, this one, Copper Sunrise, that's gonna be pretty. I'll open that up in just a sec for you guys. And then what else do we have? Star Gold. I'm gonna flip these over so maybe I'll actually see them. This is pretty, but it's more fall vibes to me. This Hourglass, this is a really pretty shade. Okay, let's do those. Oh my gosh, eyeshadow palettes. I don't even know where to start here. Can I just be honest? I'm so... I have been really trying to get through, kind of working through some of my singles that I may or may not declutter. As I have told you, if you watched the last one, it was my whole big, let me grab it here, my whole big Pretties for Your Face. It's in Sydney Grace, but I've been trying to go through each of the shades that I own from Pretties for Your Face and pulling out ones that I just don't think are worth keeping. So the only problem is I kind of forget which ones I've used. I haven't been writing it down, so I need to be more organized about that, but I have already selected a few that I've gotten rid of, or at least have set to the side to get rid of at some point. So I want to continue doing that. I just haven't been doing, you know, a lot of eyeshadow. So keeping it simple, we have that Juicy Peach palette. You know what? I want to pull out one of these Nomad colorful palettes. Which one do I want? This one, by the way, is Paradise Island. So the other one that I was looking at, oh my gosh, this one here. This one is the Keys Beachy and Peachy. I definitely didn't use this one enough when it first came out. We're gonna pull this out. This is some fun vibes. If I want some fun, colorful looks, I need to be pulling this one out. So, all right, we've got some color. I'm obviously working through some color in my Pretties for Your Face kind of declutter vibe as well. What I want to grab is a nice warm toned eyeshadow palette. Let me see, I think I know the one. And the one that I want to grab is this one. So I do enjoy this one, the California Love palette from ColourPop. This, I mean, this would have been my go-to summer look a few years ago. So I want to pull that out. I have not done any really warm tone eyeshadow looks this summer, which is crazy. I was just talking to my friend Mel about luxury eyeshadows and different things. And I was like, you know, I just really like my Lisa Eldridge, but I haven't been using them. So I think what I want to do is take my Lisa Eldridge palettes and put together a little summer color story. Where is my other palette? Let me dig that out. Hold on. Okay, so I've got open my palettes here. I did already switch out the luminous shade there, or whatever, the little sparkle shade, for another matte. But I think what I can do is pop out one of these two. I think I'll probably pull out this shade and replace it with one of these. More than likely that olive shade, so that I've got a little palette that would work well for any little situation. So let me do that so we can see the vibe together. All right, here we have this fun little color story. I think that, I mean, you might think this is fall, but I think it could also be really summery, and it will give me some use of my Lisa Eldridge shade. So I think that's gonna be a fun palette to set out. There is one more that I see sitting here that definitely hasn't gotten any love from me this year. And this one is my Citronata palette. So this definitely needs to get some use. So fun. More warm tones. It's like the vibe that I want to be having, but the vibe that I haven't been having. So gotta change that. Oh, all right, I really think that that is pretty good. I know that I didn't pull out a lot for eyeshadow, but I don't think that I need to right now. You know what I should do is let's pull out one more thing that I'm thinking about decluttering, and something that I can utilize this season to decide. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. What else do we have in here? You know what about this one? I know that this is a fall story. I'm not gonna reach for that this time of year though. Sorry, as I'm like digging through everything to see if there is something that I might declutter. What is way back here? Because these are the ones that we really need to take a hard look at. Okay, so we have definitely more Too Faced. Is that going to be weird to pull out more Too Faced? Or I could pull out my Juvia's Warrior 2. You know what? I know we have a lot of warm tones, but I don't use this one enough. I don't use this one enough, and I need to decide. I mean, look, it's barely used. It is barely used. So yeah, this is gonna be the one that we pull out to see if we wanna keep it or not. Oh, also, I just found this in here. This is this like clearance, what is this, Revlon? Let's go ahead and use a couple shades from this too, because why? I just bought a couple drugstore things just to try them. And I'm like, why did I do this? I didn't need any of these shades. I think I used this twice. Regrets. Okay, I'm gonna just try these out and see. They're probably gonna get passed along to someone, but let's give it a go. All right, really quick. I was specifically, as I was unloading my previous Shop My Drawers, I found my old Hourglass powder that I'm still trying to work through, my lighter one, and I was digging around for this one. It was in with my bronzer, so I'm gonna grab this. This is Radiant Light, so it's definitely got a golden hue, which really only looks good when I'm darker. So I'm gonna grab that one. And then while I was in here, I found that I have two MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and I'm gonna grab this medium dark and the medium golden, and I'm gonna try these out this season. It's just not often that I want like a colored pressed powder. Okay, so here we have medium golden and medium dark. I will say on camera right now, they aren't looking quite as, they look more like neutral than they are. These both, for right now, they look almost peachy. So I'm gonna give each of these a go. I just don't ever use these, so I can probably let them go if I don't end up utilizing either of them very much. So we're gonna put both of these in. Also update, womp womp, this is completely dried out. So I grabbed the two JD Glows that I thought would be good for summer, so I already put them away, but we've got two liquid liners to play with, and this one's going in my empties. Okay, excuse the chaos, because I had a ton, well, there's a lot of chaos out here, but I had a ton of BYOPs up in these slots, and I wanted to pull that out to be able to pull other things up, which made me start going through all of my my palettes of singles, and I found my palette of single face products, so like highlighters and blushes. And I remember thinking that I wanted to make sure to get these two out. So these are both Pretty Sphere face blushes. This is the shade Delilah. I love this one. And this is a newer to me, Bobbing for Apples. I know that this is like a, you know, obviously like a fall theme, but I think that this is going to be really pretty this season. It's similar to that Urban Decay, but it does have a bit of a sheen to it. I also pulled out, oh my gosh, we got dominoes going on here. Listen, y'all, this is just what happens. This is what happens when I start doing BYOPs and going through all my singles. But I wanted to pull out two of my Divina highlighters. So we have Adonis here. That one I can definitely only get away with in the summertime. And this is a favorite of mine, Euphoria. So we're gonna pull those out. If you haven't tried the highlighters before from Divina, they are really nice. Right, back to wherever I was in all of this chaos. Okay, so lips. It's been a pretty easy, lazy lip season for me. So you know what? This should be coming out, and if I don't use it, it's gonna be done. This is a Becca like lip balm, and it's a bright shade. So let's pull that one out. It should probably be let go of, in all honesty. I really like these BK Beauty lipsticks, and I haven't been wearing any in quite a while. So let's pull out, which shade is this? Empower. Again, I'm kind of going for like the warmer, bold shades. Let's do that. Also, I love this shade, Steamed Heat from MAC. This is one that I pull out every summer. Let's do that. The thing is like still with my Invisalign right now, like I don't put a lot of bold color on because it never fails. It just gets on my Invisalign. Actually, let's go back here because I do like the Sigma lip oils a lot, and this kind of shimmery pink could be really nice, like with that vivid azalea on my cheeks and just a little bit of that. That could be nice. Okay, I think that's enough from there. Let's scooch all this junk over, which means I really need to like organize all this. Oh, okay, let's see here. What do we have? I always reach for my City Lips. You guys know that. So that's not really a problem. I have been less and less likely, as much as I love the way that these look, I have been less and less likely to grab my lip injection just because of that stinging feeling. But this is a pretty summer shade, so I should probably try it and see if it's worth keeping still. I do like these RMS lipsticks too, but there's nothing that's necessarily calling to me right now, although this shade is so pretty. This is the shade Linda, and it is such a beautiful bright pink. So maybe we'll grab that one. I should grab this Haus Labs lip pencil. It's like bright pink. It's a little bit more matte than I like, and by a little bit I mean a lot, but I should try it once with maybe like a lip oil over the top and see how it wears and see how I like it. And if I don't like it, then I can get rid of it. I feel like this has been a Shop My Stash like chopping block edition, unintended, but I'm liking the vibe. Well, some of these I'm not planning on getting rid of, so, but you know what I mean. We have a few things that are on the chopping block. All right, I'm gonna go get all of this organized. All right, that one took longer than I had anticipated. Like I said in that little clip, I was like just clearing up some things here, and you know, when you start putting stuff away and then you notice other things, and I was like, oh, I should pull this out, I should pull that out, which is exactly why we do this, right? This is to find all of those hidden gems. And so I hope you were inspired by seeing me dig through my treasure trove to go do the same for yours. I don't think that I have anything else other than perhaps the next time that you see a video, we might be a little bit further away from this cabinet. I think I'm actually going to move all of my filming stuff a little bit closer to the window. That's hopefully going to give me a little bit more natural light. I don't really have a lot of space to go that way, but I picked up a table to start having all of my watercolor supplies set up so that I can paint at any time my little heart desires, because it takes a while to pull out all the things, get your water cups, blah, blah, blah. And then I just don't paint as much because I'm like, I had 20 minutes and it's going to take me 15 minutes to pull everything out. So I am trying to make space for that table. And so we're going to go this way. So you might see a different little setup. Not very much. It's just going to be going that way. So we'll see. I'm hoping to get that done this week, this weekend. Who knows? Lots of things on the to-do list, as I'm sure you can all understand and are probably dealing with the same. I know summer is busy, hopefully with some fun things for you. Thank you for sticking around and watching this video. Like I said, this is a fun one to do for me because I think we're all sort of in that spirit of enjoying what we have right now. So let me know what you have pulled out for your summer. If there are things that you're like, this is the only time I ever use this, I would love to know down below. And again, Natalia's video is linked down below so you can check out her channel as well. And that's going to be it for today, lovelies. I will see you really soon.